Taurus, welcome. This is the big read, end of December, end of 2021. And this is an Astro-Tarot fusion read, so we'll be looking at the transits in the sky, 8 planets, the 2 orbs, sun and moon, so 10 cards there. And then we're going to look at the signs that they're in and those cards. And this is a tarot representation before you of the sky above. You have Mars. We'll start with Mars. It's the Tower in tarot. Yeah, anyone's into astrology much, you probably recognize Mars as a trigger. It's all about action anyway, especially in transits. Can be the precise moment when someone throws the punch or, something happens. It often is that way, so it makes sense that it would be the Tower. I always see the Tower too as Uranus energy for me. It's interesting too in astrology, particularly with Synastry, which I love. But man, you put Uranus and Mars near each other, and it's like the kind of fire that will melt steel beams. That hot, right? Temperance is the Sagittarius card. Mars is in Sagittarius. So beautiful energy. Not just saying it because I'm a Sag. And the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot here. It's just a beautiful representation of the angelic energy. I feel this is probably around you. It's particularly if that's your intention. This particularly is oriented towards a Taurus rising, so we're also keeping in mind that your planet ruler, your chart ruler is Venus, okay? She's a little bit in hell right now, but we'll get to that. Right now we have the angelic presence, so if you want that, it's just right there. I like to speak out loud a lot. In the name of light, love, so as serves the greatest good spirit, I ask you to guide me, protect me, and give me strength. Yes. But I think Mars is benefic here with Sag. It's a typical, what they might say about Sag being impulsive energy, but it's also kind of light energy, I think, and it's making a nice sextile right now, particularly on the 29th, just a few days away. We have this perfect square, so relevant for you. We'll get to that because that's like what it's all about this year, particularly if you're Taurus with Uranus there in retrograde forever, and just square and Saturn dead on now. I mean, this is kind of like high noon for the Saturn-Uranus square. And I think it's nice to have Sag here is kind of like in your pocket over here as some kind of positive energy. And in this sextile with Mars, I think it's, Mars is with Saturn. You can't really negotiate with Saturn, I've tried. But Mars, is where we can stand our ground, and damn we'll try. Mars will stand up to anything. So maybe, but here there's actually sextile is about application of will, great for also manifestation and for taking action. And a sextile is like learning. It's something often that we have to learn, but something that should come easy, they say, right? What you have is an inconjunct with Uranus right now, with Mars. So it's not speaking well to your energy, Taurus, here, which is in your first house of yourself. So this whole Mars-Uranus square is now between this first house and 11th house in this fixed energy. So I can only imagine something about your very self would have to change, want to change. It'd almost be inevitable, something. And honestly, it probably is a good thing. Uranus is often difficult, but it's going to break you free. Now, I could see with the classical Taurian energy of not wanting change and wanting to keep things the same and hold on in fixed earth, this could be pretty traumatic. And it's here with Mars is more inclined right now to speak to the Saturn end of things. And these have probably been restrictions and limits amongst friendships, even in the way you could engage the world. You know, kind of what I see here is this is a great energy for someone who's ready to kind of assert themselves in the world. You know, Saturn will leave here. It's going to be a bit longer. It's 2.5 years. It's still got a ways to go through Aquarius, through your 11th house. But it's all about learning in that area. I like experience with Saturn returns, and I've learned to pay attention, you know, to Saturn. If you can pay attention to anything in the chart, I mean, pay attention to Saturn, you know, and that 2.5 year sign, 2.5 year house, 30-year roughly cycle is so important in our lives. So something could be changing there. This could be like you changing the way you approach people, approach the world, present yourself, you know, particularly also to groups. Like you may have had difficulty finding an affiliation with a group, something like that. Now, maybe as the square is putting pressure, you know, that's what's coming to a head, and maybe you're going to make some kind of change, you know. And I think this is what Uranus wants. I think with Mars and Saturn there, you'll be probably trying to work out something still to kind of maintain the status quo, and maybe take something off of this energy. But I think with Mars, with Saturn, it's like if you have an intention and you do want to change something about the direction you're going, or you know, you want to manifest something, you know, this is pretty good energy. It has that influence, you know, and it's still right as the sun's still starting to come into this nice trine, you know, with Uranus. And I have Sun Uranus trine in my natal chart. And it's a great energy for, I think this is kind of about you like stepping out from under the shadows, or out from under the dark cloud, or out from behind the curtain maybe, something like that. And it's almost too, it's like right now you could have like a sense of being seen. That would be nice. What is always a problem, and it's in your 9th house of Sagittarius and Jupiter, and it's all about you know, belief systems really. This is where Venus is sort of she's now just pulling away from Pluto, so this dark stuff's coming up. This could be family stuff. This could be you discovering stuff about religion, having a this could be dark night of the soul too, where you begin to question your belief systems. This could be like going from believing in God to losing the belief in God, because often, I hate to say it, that comes from when something terrible happens and we just can no longer, I've been there, so how can I believe in God when, you know, this terrible thing happened? This energy with Venus is going on for a while, and it's all in this 9th house. It's anything to do as well with education, with travel, with freedom. You know, with there you have Capricorn, so it's also where you want to build in that area. And it could be you need to make some kind of adjustment or change to your belief systems. And you could say that maybe this is also what the square with Uranus and Saturn could be about too. Is possibly it could be your belief systems, Taurus, that's somehow preventing you from, I don't know, shining or feeling comfortable, I don't know, out in the spotlight, or even feel like you're effective in groups, or can, you know, have any kind of a feeling of a good energy there. And that kind of feeling's kind of coming to a head. So, you know, you would be wanting to do something then to alleviate that. You know, that's why squares make us better. There's nothing wrong with squares. And then we ought to consider that Saturn's solid in Aquarius. It's going to be there for a while, right? Whereas Jupiter today is at 29 degrees of Aquarius, and it's about to leave and go bye-bye. It'll be clear into Aries before you know it. So it's going to scream into Pisces, and we'll just be shifting it over here, and it'll join the Hanged Man that represents Pisces, represents Neptune. And I always like to see Neptune and Jupiter together for one. And I'd love Jupiter and Pisces. I'm strong Jupiter personality, Sun and Jupiter and Mercury and Mars and Sag. And note that both of these are under the influence of the Aquarian energy and how benefic that is. Now it's about hopes and dreams and wishes and manifestation and wish fulfillment. And of course, the devil, it kind of says it all here. Venus is in hell, kind of, here with judgment. And the more with you, it could be something, even I think about religion, like a Taurus moon energy. This is more geared towards, it could be the Taurus moon or sun, but the Taurus energy anyway, likes to be traditional. It would want to naturally stay, like for instance, in the belief system of childhood or family. Going to tend to want to believe in country and this kind of thing. And have like the stability there. But there might be some kind of challenge coming into you for that. And again, we see opportunity for manifestation here. And Jupiter's kind of a wild card right now. I think like right now it'll just be kind of wrapping up whatever it's meant for you as it goes through. For you, your 10th house here of career, public image. See, it's about the image too. And it's like really would be surprised if you do kind of have trouble with your public image. It could just simply be feeling not seen. If you're at a job, like you're doing a great job and maybe your views are great, but then somehow it's like people just sort of don't see you or don't recognize you, and you'd be wanting to do something to change that. And I'm going to think about how the Wheel of Fortune is going to be in Pisces soon, very soon. And the Hanged Man here joining Neptune. Of course, Neptune's now direct. Very recently, you might have had disillusionment. This has been such a strong energy, I think, for me. It's been kind of hellish the last couple of weeks. So if you've been feeling horrible, I hope you're better. It should be better. It's going to get better, I think, in general. It's all also your personal, but just everybody's been getting hammered, And part of it is just all the illusions just stripped away, It's like having some friends, like a Capricorn, And I was like, well, that's not true. Here's the reality of it. We're all going to die, It's like, well, it always ends with, we're all going to die. What's the use? So it could be kind of a harsh energy. And Neptune's been in this dreamland for, I think, like in retrograde. And you see it's the moon represents Pisces, so it's at home. And they work very well together. But if you see this moon and then the Hanged Man, is that not like a dream, So it still brings that energy, rules dreams, and everything that's spiritual. Neptune and Pisces is everything you can't wrap your knuckles on, right? Taurus, hate to say it, you guys, I don't want to hate to say it, but you're everything you can wrap your knuckles on. That's Taurian second house energy. And Jupiter's getting ready to go there. Good things could happen at 29 degrees. This does not have to be bad. I think it is karmic, man. It's like with Jupiter. Zeus, so one throws down the lightning bolts, but he's a pretty damn good mood. And I don't even think Saturn's in a pretty good mood, so I keep saying. Your main concern is with Venus here and Pluto, I should say. It's dark energy. If my planet ruler was there, particularly if I'm a woman, because Venus is feminine, this could somehow emphasize a sister. If you have siblings, or close friends, I believe. I don't have a lot of family, but I have friends that are like family. If you have someone, you think of them as your sister, whether you're male or female. Maybe that could be involved. I mean, there could be dark situations, and be like negative, but this is so it's a time to be careful, and judgment here is really in the end being called up to our greatest good, but often that's hard. Like we got to go, deal with something we don't want to deal with. We come here with a difficult family life, and we finally extricate ourselves. It's like last thing we want to do is deal with that. But then Pluto comes along, conjunct Venus, says, "Oh, we're going to deal with that." And maybe you find during this time too, it's not impossible to find out the devil energy, find out things, dark things from the past. Worldwide too. Usually the kind of things coming out. It could be about sexual stuff and obsessions and things like this, hidden things, dark things. Coming up in you, coming out in your relationships, your other person, you, realizations about your family. You got Mercury here. It's all about realizations. Every time it aspects something significant in your chart, boom, boom, boom. It's kind of sometimes just the thoughts in our minds that are so strong. Sometimes I don't really recognize how powerful and ubiquitous Mercury is in our lives. It's my chart ruler, so I guess I say. And then I love it that the Fool represents Uranus. I always think Aries too, and with the Fool, it's like with the Tower, think Uranus. But I like the idea that the Fool is about freedom, and the Fool is like completely free. The Fool is not like theoretically free. He's leaping off a cliff with an umbrella. He's actually free, and so it kind of represents that energy. It's kind of impersonal, and that's kind of Uranus. It comes along, and it doesn't really care. That's why I think with Saturn, you'd think, wow, Uranus, Saturn. You would think, especially in Capricorn and Uranus, and occupying its own sign, and it's frankly in Taurus. Uranus is at fall, so it's not in its best position, but still, I mean, it can bring it. I think so. It's just, I think a lot of this energy. We'll see with the tarot read. We'll do that in a sec here, and get some idea. I mean, that could go so many different ways. It's really, this kind of thing can be kind of impossible to predict here. But with you being in the first house like this, speaking to, excuse me, Taurus rising, it's going to be something about yourself. There's something between your self-image and your public image, okay? And Taurus is sort of self-image too, self-worth, going on with that square, guys. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Damn, allergies. And I'll see when we do the tarot readings to get an idea what's going on with this. And then, put this here. We have the moon is now in Libra, and it's represented by Justice, which is the Libra card. So we just look at them together. It's a nice benefic energy I get from this, right now it's trine to this Saturn, right? Which is this is kind of an epic Saturn Uranus square right now. This reading's for the 27th. When I'm doing it, the moon's set for 27th for the afternoon, just so I can have a place where I catch the moon, and I trust the spirit to guide me after that. But with the moon here, it could be a moment where we really take out to listen, especially with the Saturn energy there, and kind of listen to what we need to, Saturn wants us to be strong, what we need to be strong, what we need to be self-contained. Saturn wants to be self-contained. It wants integrity, like steel has integrity. Wants integrity in all things, in all ways. It's kind of adamant. And we're lining up with that for a minute. I think in terms of prayer and manifestation, great time. Hopefully earlier today, even all through today, it's still there, that shrine. It's a good time. This is the high priestess. This is the highest part of ourself. It's the most spiritually aligned part of ourself. And justice. And, this is kind of, we can manifest something that we feel that we deserve. And I talk to Saturn. Saturn is, just remember, Saturn brings lessons and responsibilities, that's all. But these can be wonderful. It can bring opportunity too, but it comes with lessons of responsibility. And it brings like structure. That's what it's going to bring. You're going to say, Saturn, help me out. Sounds like, here we go. And it's going to bring that to you. Now, a minute to pass. It's pretty quiet here for Cancun, Mexico. I like to sit on the back deck, but man, the mosquitoes it's been like the rainy season forever, and the mosquitoes are just monstrous. I can't deal with it. All right, we have some sun illuminating things. Now, I want to look here as we do the tarot reading and pull one card, because I've kind of separated the cards. Well, I definitely have. It's a little bit strange. What I've been working on and directed to do for a while. So the main part of the tarot reading is only going to be the minor arcana, okay? We have most of the major arcana, some of the plants, some of the signs that are not in play are off the table. So I can match some kind of focus to this. And I do have here the court cards. I do want to look at one court card that kind of represent, this for me will represent the overall energy of the reading. Taurus. So think about where you have air energy. Think about progressed energy that you might have. Could be a Gemini. You could have also Gemini personal planets there, Mercury, Mars, or Venus. Something could be significant. In the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck, get the thing focused. It's kind of a pensive look about her. It's like maybe she's at some kind of ceremony, or she just doesn't really. She's in her own thoughts here. So I don't know. To me, it's not the typical energy of the Queen of Swords you'd think as being, really outspoken and all that kind of energy. Okay, so let's keep that in mind for the bottom of the deck, and look at you by signs here, and just pull a card for each one of these signs. Let's see if we can see how it works in terms of the rest of your energy. Particularly with Uranus too, and also with Mars in the Tower. It can be hard to know exactly when they're going to pop off for you. So in terms of your Sagittarius energy, 4 cups, I kind of touched on that. It's Sag Mars over here could right now be a little bit detached from the rest of the sky, all of it. And I'm feeling it, and it's because like Sag just kind of doesn't give a fuck, honestly. I hate to say it. And right now it's been terrible, and it's sort of like Sag just wants to be free. Right now, I think particularly, and I believe like if you look at the Tower over there in Temperance along with it, maybe this 4 of Cups is this emotionally detaching from everything, and just not investing emotionally in much of anything, just kind of withdrawing energy, really from the world. Let me put it that way. And then look at these now. Look at these two together. What is she doing? This Queen of Swords. She is very deeply and peacefully not giving a fuck. That's kind of what I get out of that. Yeah, she's just not giving a fuck. Wow. Venus and Pluto, all of it though, you got to say, but that's in Capricorn. Two of Wands. Yeah, it's a sense for you I get a lot is this, see if I can get this in good here, is some kind of choice. And remember, wands are actions, so there's some kind of action that needs to be taken. And I think there's like probably a part of you that's like, I would rather be poked in the eye with a stick than to do fill in the blank. That's what I'm talking about. I just as soon be poked in the eye with a sharp stick as to go or to do. Oh, that kind of thing. And with the two of wands, I usually see this more of a stay or go energy than an A or B energy in terms of this choice, that it might represent. And I think like with Venus and Pluto together, can make us really think. I mean, if you're in a relationship or if you're not in a relationship, can make you think about, it's basically like some kind of stay or go. Am I in or am I out? That could be another way it could be, but it's in action. With your energy banging to the 11th house, if this isn't about a romantic position, the energy could be in terms of like with groups, and sort of maybe you've been caring a lot, like what do they think? And now God bless Sag comes along just like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go run over here in this field and have a good time, play, and y'all do what you want, with the world. Okay? That's where it's kind of helpful. Because this is heavy stuff. And so another thing comes to mind, this is kind of tentative, like the Queen of Swords. A lot of these characters in this deck are tentative. So it's not even normally this shows a guy with his backpack or his little ready to go right down the trail. This guy's not even out. He's not even ready yet, but he just looks like he just woke up. My guy's got a robe on. Probably doesn't have a cup of coffee in his hand. So he's just thinking about taking action. So that's kind of like, I think, really describes probably the stage you're in. You're just thinking about taking action, and that's hard. Yeah. Six of Wands. This is fantastic to get here. So this is for the Aquarian energy. Now, what in the hell could possibly be the Star card and the Six of Wands, but like hopes, dreams, and wishes of victory, accolades, incredibly positive. I see a lot of energy too happening. This is this could be romance coming in too, if that's what you want. I mean, it's a manifestation card. If you're out there saying, I want my love, kaboom. And this would be a sexy devil. It would be someone that is very attractive. However you want to shake that out, whatever's attractive to you, that's them. Man, woman, they're going to be just, you're going to look at them and go, that's hot. Probably everybody will. It's be a confidence about them, typically, like if they're not younger than you, someone just comes across being young and vivacious and attractive. It's someone that's being looked up to. You see, he's on his horse, he's receiving his accolades there. But this could very well be you, all this energy depends on what it is you're trying to manifest here, or both. I think when we get this in ourselves, then here comes this person like this. Neptune, Two of Swords. So that's the tough energy of Neptune. The moon, there's something that you're not seeing, and it's trying to Saturn right now. It's probably like about some kind of discipline or something that you need to apply, and you really don't want to apply it. I'm trying to get at what it might be, because with this Two of Swords, you probably would kind of be a blank. you just be something that you're kind of like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Where you're asking yourself, I just don't know about what's going on. And Pisces energy too. And it's sextile to the Venus, so it might have something that you're not seeing, and here you can see it. Maybe we do it with this reading. Oh, another clarifier I'm playing here. So we'll go to Seven of Cups to help clarify this Two of Swords. So it's something to do with this Venus energy and Neptune, and I think it's what you can't see, what you don't want to see, maybe because it's dark. And with the Libra moon, it highlights the energy, the feelings of not wanting to go into the dark, not wanting to go into the basement. Judgment and the Empress, it's heaven and hell, it's the basement. It's like, it's dark down there, it's dank, it's like you don't want to go down there unless you're a Scorpio, okay? And that's where Venus, whether Venus is you, Taurus, or whether Venus is Libra, Venus ain't nothing to do with the basement. It's like, that's fine. But I think that's what's being asked here. And with this Seven of Cups, it really clarifies, I think, what I'm getting at. As you can see, it's kind of a dark Seven of Cups here. Let's get a better look at it this way. Yeah. So when you try to go there, it might just bring up emotional turmoil. It's like, I kind of say it's advice, like, go inside and take a deep breath and find the darkest door. That's the one that screams, don't open that fucking door, but then open that door. Because the only way out is through. And there's just some kind of thing that's really internal there going on. And it's probably, it's related to this Venus energy, particularly if you have any relationship, if you have anything going on there. Let me see what we get to go with Taurus here. Your Ace of Cups. Wow. So I'm seeing some kind of breakthrough. This is the Uranus energy. It's in your first house. I get this feeling like, wow, it went your way. It's like Uranus won. That was my thought. It's kind of a square. Typically it's not going to be like, okay, we're going to shake hands and agree to work together. It's going to just be pressure, and something's going to crack, and then you got what you got. And it's somehow like, I don't know, like you're getting the bigger piece of the wishbone out of this square here, Taurus. Maybe too emotionally opening up. This Seven of Cups, maybe that's somehow emotionally opening up. Maybe what's going on for you with the Empress here represented in Judgment, and representing Venus and Pluto, is kind of somehow being like forced to deal with your feelings, your deep, darkest feelings. This is 8th house stuff too. Hidden things, occult things. And maybe before you didn't want to deal with them. And it's the devil here, it's obsessive energy. And Uranus, I think you can count on one thing, that in the end, it's going to set you free. So when you get the Ace of Cups, it's like the feeling that you're going to have, whether this is a new relationship. Let me see what I get when I do the final draw on the Libran energy. Libra ruling relationships, also ruled by Venus, like you. Also your chart ruler. So let's see what I get when I do that. But this is something coming in that's pure and real and heartfelt. And I just gotta say, for a tarot reading, the Fool and the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant, that would be getting married, maybe eloping. Could be like elopement, it's like really falling for someone and finding that it's, with the Hierophant, I believe it's very solid. Being your own energy. That's why I say it's going your way. It's like literally, you know how love, right? Never 50-50. If it's good, I don't know. It's not 50-50. It's 60 for whatever, right? But it's going to be your way. It's going to be like 60% you and 40% them, but it's going to work, I think. You know, it's solid. Can't beat that. But let that make you feel a little better, because I think you're being asked to make this change too that you don't want to make, and part of it does seem kind of emotional. Wow, talk about emotional. The Eight of Cups, this Libra energy. That does imply leaving behind maybe a relationship here. This is clarifying the Justice and the High Priestess over here. This moon energy we're in right now, which is trine in Saturn. Maybe that's what this trine is, and this would be something that'd become suddenly rather easy. And this is emotionally letting go, emotionally really letting go. You know, it could even, this is the moon, it's moving fast, it's in different positions during the day. And the next day, it's solid in the middle right now. Libra, as this reading goes out, it should be right in the middle degrees of Libra energy. But I think you're going to be emotionally letting go of something. This is for the whole year. So, I mean, this is a really good use of energy. Just look at that transit chart. Jesus, my solar return not a few days ago because of my birthday. And I was like, what a transit chart, which then becomes your solar return. Just a lot of intense stuff, and if you're walking away and letting go emotionally, then I would call this a wonderful outcome. And I see several places in here where a person might come. There's Six of Wands. It could be like a fire sign, you know, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, first house, fifth house, ninth house energy. Watch for it. And you know, Synastry. In something emotionally fulfilling that might come suddenly to, you know, with someone really kind of just falling for someone or something, you know. Wow. So let me know what you think, guys. I appreciate your input. Comments are welcome. I'll try to answer if you have any questions about your transits and what have you. And if you could think of anyone to share this, please do share it. Have a great next year, great New Year's. I'll be doing other readings. I have to also be doing the heart spread. Well, your heart spread is up, guys, actually, for you guys already, so check it out. Maybe I'll put a link to that here. So, and do subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell. Thank you.